Ever seen the videos of those people like snapping, just walking down people with the selfie stick and just like with bolt cutters and snapping the selfie stick?
No.
It's like it was a trend on.
People are just
Assholes.
seeing people with selfie sticks and snapping
Someone
them?
would walk by us, see this with bolt cutters and snap it. It was like a trend for a while.
That'd be hilarious.
I mean, not when it happens to you.
That's funny. I think it's still funny. I mean, I'm not saying vandalize someone's property or destroy it, but that's kind of funny.
I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah?
I don't think I would. I think if it happened to me, because your phone or your GoPro or whatever's on it, like,
Oh, that's true.
not falling to the ground.
Oh yeah, I don't want that to fall. Hey everyone, welcome back to Talkie Walkie. We're on the Upper East Side today. We're walking down, what is this, Park in 94th? Beautiful day. No, it's actually pretty rainy, and there's a flash flood watch.
Oh, is there?
There is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this might be
putting our lives at line for our art.
This might be a quickie talkie walkie.
Yeah.
But I'm here with ex-magician turned comedian Danny Braff.
Hello.
And you're from Jersey.
The small apple.
The small apple, is that,
Yeah.
do they call it that?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So you started magic and then you like slowly transitioned into comedy,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Now, how did you get into the magical arts, as one does?
I had no personality when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
So I might argue I still don't, but
That's not true. You're very, you got a good vibe, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if that means personality, but.
When I was like 6 or 7, my grandfather got me a magic kit, and I started doing that. And who needs a personality when you can show someone magic and get people amazed?
Yeah.
So I used it as a crutch for a long, long time, because instead of talking to people, I would just show them magic.
But wouldn't you have to talk to them when you're doing the tricks?
No, I was like a tape face. No.
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah, I know tape
No,
face.
I would.
Like a mime?
Yeah, I know I would, but it was just all like scripted and rehearsed, so like I didn't have to worry about. And I was more comfortable talking about that magic trick than I would be like, "How was your day?"
Oh, okay.
So
I see.
I think that's why most magicians do magic.
Social skills are bad, so they get
horrific.
into magic?
I think that's why most magicians get into magic. I think the problem is, and I think it's actually a good crutch. When you're 7 years old,
Yeah.
I think that's a good crutch to have.
Okay.
I think, because at 7, everyone can, whatever, it gave me something to not feel horrifically weird.
Okay, yeah.
But I think a lot of magicians then use that crutch forever and never learn to talk to people.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of magicians, when I talk to them, can't make eye contact.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
You can't make good eye contact?
No.
No, all right. Well, at least
During COVID, I was doing Zoom shows.
Yeah.
Like everyone, and I couldn't even make eye contact with the camera, so I would put like a little sticky note on the camera that says "Look here."
Oh my God. Well, at least you're self-aware enough to know that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's step one, right? Because a lot of magicians or people just with bad social skills might not even know that they have bad social skills.
Yeah. For
There
sure.
are times where my problem is sometimes I'll be talking with someone and I will be fascinated with what they're saying, but I'll still be like looking around.
Yeah.
I just like to look around.
It's easier. It's more fun.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about. Also, I think it's hard. You look too long. You don't look enough. You're weird. You look too long. You're creepy.
Yeah.
There's the right amount.
And then
If you're counting, if you go, I'm looking 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, look away. Like then they're gonna be like, why are you counting?
Oh yeah. Well, you should count in your head, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
Got it.
That's the move. I think. All right. So, what was like who was like your favorite magician growing up?
I had a lot.
What kind of style of magic?
Aussie Wind was what has always been one of my
Oh,
favorites.
he's so good. I went to opening night of his show.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle.
I saw it a couple
Crazy.
weeks after it opened. It was great.
Crazy.
I mean, Harrison has always been a big influence on me.
Sure.
I mean, there's people that I liked then. People I love now, Derek Togadio,
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable, talented.
Very
Rob
good.
Zabrecki, I think's amazing.
Oh yeah, he was actually in some bands, right?
Yeah, I like that. They had that one song, "Watch the Girl Destroy Me."
What's the band called?
I know the song, but I don't remember the name of the band.
Oh, okay.
The song is "Watch the Girl Destroy Me." That was like their hit.
All right.
It was really good.
But it was like a popular song, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then, what made you wanted to like ditch the magic? Because I think this is very like we have similar
yeah.
parallels in this. Because I obviously used to juggle, and now I do basically 99% stand up. Although sometimes my corporate agent calls me, like I was telling you before we started. He's like, "I got a gig for you."
Well, it's one of those things because it's hard because magic or juggling will pay significantly more.
Yeah.
Significantly more.
Significantly more. Like when I started doing comedy, I did it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
There was no money involved.
Well, still, there's barely any money. Like
Still.
spots in the city, there's no money involved.
No, that's why I go. That's why I go on the road.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to Vegas next month
Ooh,
or next
wow.
week to do the cellar there, and that pays
great.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. But like
Yeah.
if you're doing club spots or bar shows in the city, you're like I mean, some of them pay literally nothing, which is okay. I don't care. I'm still happy to do it.
I think, okay, so let's tell people how much these spots pay, right? Because some people might be watching thinking, oh, you make $5, $10.
Some of them pay $0.
Some of them pay $0. Some of them pay $5, $10.
Some of them pay 20, 30.
Some pay 20. But if you do
75 would be like almost maximum.
well, if you do a club spot, you can get like, cellar pays like 150, 200 certain
Yeah.
nights, I think. Right?
I don't know. That's what I've heard. That's on weekends, right?
Yeah, on
Okay,
weekends
yeah.
the seller pays out pretty nicely. On it depends like what day you're working there.
Yeah.
West Side usually pays around $100 a spot.
Yeah.
But so if you're booked,
This is how I'm learning right now that you're getting paid more than me for a spot.
well, no, sometimes I get $40 depending on where.
That's more like it.
You know,
that's more like
I
it.
never know. Like it's always like a treat to me because I'm always like, oh, I'm getting paid.
Oh yeah, it is crazy.
But if you're someone who's like working, 6 spots a night at the cellar, which some guys are, or girls and girls, you could make a pretty good living just doing that, just doing club spots. If you're doing
A
like
lot.
5, 6 spots
Yeah.
a night, if you have that luxury
Yeah.
to do that. Okay, so I think I asked you, when did you start like transitioning out of magic, and was it a slow transition, or was it something you decided overnight? Hey, I just want to do comedy now.
Well, there was I was living in Florida and I was going to an open mic.
You're from New Jersey.
From New Jersey.
But what were you doing in Florida?
I was going to taking some classes in school.
Oh, okay.
And was also doing like gigs and stuff down there. I was doing a lot of corporate magic stuff.
All right.
But I would go to an open mic at this place called the Funky Buddha Lounge in Boca Raton.
All right.
It was like a great open mic, but I would go there and kind of work on magic at this comedy or all arts open mic. And I wanted to try comedy, and I started doing stand-up there, and I sucked. I'd bomb every time.
Do you remember your first joke?
No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Yes, but I'm not.
You remember it, but it's not worth repeating.
Yeah.
I got it. All right.
But it was, so I would go to this, and I would do magic there, here and there, and then every once in a while I would do stand-up.
Yeah.
And then I would bomb, and I would close with magic trick. And then I got labeled magic guy, because even though I was trying to do stand-up, if I would do a magic ever, I was magic guy.
That sucks, right?
Yeah, it
You
does
didn't like
stink.
that label?
Yes, I did not like it.
Yeah. Let's take it right here. We got the light. Just give me the light.
Which is why now I'm like almost like very like, I won't do like the fact that I'm talking to you about magic on this podcast is an excuse.
Well,
extra read all about it.
With me, you get a pass.
Yes.
You're fine. You're
Yeah.
fine.
I'm very careful to almost not do magic in a comedy setting ever.
Yeah.
Because once I moved back to Jersey, I'm very scared of that label again.
Dude, I'm with you. That's why when people ask me to juggle in comedy shows, unless your name is Esty, I'm like, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think it's interesting. But I also think a lot of people don't even now know that I do. Like in this area,
yeah.
people are unaware that I ever did magic.
Yeah.
But the only thing that they know is that I have a bit about it.
Yeah.
But in the bit, I very much downplay it.
That's how the only reason I think I would know you did magic is because I saw you do a bit in Brooklyn once. We were on a show together.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the first times I had met you.
Yeah.
A year or two ago at Tiny Cupboard, perhaps. And I was like, oh, that's a funny bit.
Yeah.
It was a funny bit.
I also in the bit, I very much downplay how into magic was. I make it seem like I wasn't good, which I don't think I was good, but I make it seem like I was like barely doing it like a kid would do it. Well, in reality, I was deep.
So you hated the nickname Magic Boy.
It wasn't actually my nickname.
Well, you hated being referenced.
Yeah, I hated that people would ask me to do shows and ask the same thing as you. They'd be like, hey,
I get
can you
it.
do the magic? I'll book
I get
you.
it.
And that being said, at the time, I wasn't good enough at comedy to be booked for my comedy.
I see.
But I'd rather not get booked on a comedy show and just do these open mics.
Right.
Then, because also there's a level, like, I didn't really like doing the magic anymore. I
Really?
felt significantly less creative. Significantly less creative.
Interesting. Because like the tricks were tricks other people were also doing or
for
something?
Sure. Yeah,
okay.
I was a hack. I was a magic hack.
I see. All right.
And maybe some of the jokes or things I would do were original and good with the magic. But I don't know. I think it's significantly harder to be original in magic than it is to be original in comedy. But there's literally no one doing it. No. The reason no one's actually being really original in magic is because it's so hard to do.
Yeah, I see that. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you fell in love with stand-up, and now you kind of put all your eggs in the stand-up basket, which is awesome because you're a great stand-up.
Thank you. You too, man.
Thanks, man. So what are your goals when you decided to do that? Like, what do you want to be doing?
I want to. I don't know. My goal. If you asked me a year ago, I would say my goal is to be on the road and get out of Jersey, New York a little more, and be doing longer feature sets. And now I'm kind of doing that.
That's great.
Which is really cool.
That is cool.
So now I'm wondering what the next goal is to maybe. I think the goal is still to be doing that more.
Yeah.
Because in the city you get there's a lot of 10-minute sets, a lot of 15-minute sets.
A lot of those. Yep.
And I want to learn to do more time. I want to be able to. I just did 2 headlining sets for the first time. It was my
your first.
This past month was my first ever 45-minute set.
Really?
This past weekend was my second ever.
Wow!
Set.
And how long into comedy are you now? Like how many?
7.5 years.
7.5 years. You just did your first headlining comedy set.
Yes.
That's amazing. That just shows you.
Yeah, I have my 3rd one next week and my 4th one March 20th.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows you how long it takes to develop like an hour.
Yeah.
You know, 7.5 years.
When I say an hour, I did 46 minutes.
46. Oh, that's plenty. I think anything over 45, you can call an hour.
Yeah.
Just round up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Did an hour and 20.
The first time I did a headlining stand-up show, I think the longest set at the time I'd ever done was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just was like, yeah, I'll do it. I can do an hour or 45. I think I did like 51 minutes. It was like the first time.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun though. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it is fun. It's interesting. It feels good. There's a different pacing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to. The problem is because I'm so used to doing these 15-minute sets, and and you just go up and crush for 15.
Yeah.
It's very different and it's significantly harder. And I felt like towards the end, like after the 30-minute mark, it started to feel not put to, like it almost felt like I was just doing bits that had nothing to do with each other because that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is I need to find ways to work these bits that don't have anything to do with each other and make them work them together so it kind of flows.
That makes sense. So that's exciting though. I'm happy that you were able to put that together, and now maybe this goal for next year is to do more
of that.
Headlining spots.
Yeah, I also want to be doing more. I think doing more of these 25, 30. I've been going on the road with Robert Kelly a lot, and he's been very nice.
Great.
And
Bobby.
He's the
Bobby.
best. He's the fucking best.
Come do Talkie Walkie, Bobby.
Should do it.
What are you doing?
I'm sure he would. Yeah.
All right.
And he's been very, very nice to me, and now because of that, I'm able to do these longer sets, which is nice. And I need to. But the other thing is, even when I'm doing that, I'm still just trying to crush as hard as possible for 25 minutes. When in reality, I think I should use it as a great opportunity to figure out how to make these 45. If I'm doing a 6-show weekend with them, I should try to. I'm doing 2 25-minute sets. I should try to almost do a different 25 and make it feel like a headline.
Totally.
But I'm not doing that.
Well,
because my goal is just to
crush. Yeah. Well, I think that's okay. I think on the shows that aren't sold out, if there are any, the higher stakes shows. Try have some fun. But that's the luxury of being a feature. Is that you can play around a little bit more than a headliner is allowed to.
Yeah.
And that's why I love featuring for people sometimes still too, because I don't have to worry about drawing. You know, it's a little carefree,
Yeah.
a little more loosey-goosey, which
Yeah.
I really like. It's a good spot to be in, to feature, especially when you're building time.
Yeah.
Love it. I love that. So you were also on Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And
so
for
fun.
people who don't know what Kill Tony is, can you explain it?
So Q Tony is like right now it's like one of the most popular podcasts in the world. It's a live show. It's pretty much an open mic where anyone who wants, and when I say anyone, I mean anyone, can put their name in a bucket and get called to do a minute of stand-up comedy in front of a panel of like famous judges.
Right.
And when I say anyone, it ranges from people that are open mic comics, people doing comedy for the first time, to literal homeless people,
Right.
that just didn't even know what they were signing up for, and then get stuck on stage.
To also pros, to also like
pros.
pro
It's also
comics
pros.
sign up.
Yes,
right.
there's also like pros.
It's not just a bunch of weirdos and amateurs. You get
Yeah.
people. The lady just rammed her.
Yeah, we just watched a baby possibly get brain trauma.
That was so funny. Just rammed the, what do you call those things?
A stroller.
Stroller into the. She was on the phone, distracted. Anyway, okay. So, okay, tell me about your experience on Kill Tony, because I do like watching this show.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it's very fun. I was on it before it got huge. Like
Okay.
Now, like what's also interesting is I thought it was big at the time. Because when I was going, they were selling out clubs,
Uh-huh.
and they were at the Gramercy Theater, which is still like, in my opinion, like that's the dream.
Yeah,
Doing the Gramercy,
all
like,
right,
that's the dream.
well.
But like that's nuts. But like when I did, I got on it. I was at Skankfest, but and at the time, like maybe there were like 70,000 people watching every episode, which is a lot. But in comparison to what it is now, it's nothing, which is so weird. But I don't know. I got caught in the bucket. I did it twice. The
Okay.
first time, both times were at Skankfest. First time went well, very good. I was happy with it.
Were you nervous with your
Very
when you called
nervous.
because they call your name and you have how much time to prepare?
None.
Yeah, they call your name, you go up and you get on the mic, right?
Yeah, you have zero time to prepare. But anyone I know who has gone to sign up
Let's go here.
and has asked me for advice, because I did very well both times, here's the advice. I go out and know what you're gonna say before you go on. So know
Just
if
be
you have-
prepared.
Because you have no time to prepare after they call your name.
Right.
So you have to be prepared. So every time they were about to call a name,
Yeah.
in my mind I would start saying the first line to my joke.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
All right.
as if I'm about to be called.
Cool.
Because also it is very nerve-wracking. Like I imagine even more now. Because you lose control. Once you go on, it's not on you, it's going out and millions of people are gonna see it.
Right. That's true.
So like I'm confident on stage,
Yeah.
but I was more nervous and shaking on that. If I wasn't so prepared and if I didn't know the bit back to front to back, I would have froze. And
Wow.
you see people freeze.
Oh, you do, yeah.
On the podcast, so many people, at times people go up and they forget or they have nothing.
That's so scary. Sometimes I blank on stage still. That sucks.
Yeah, and when I watch that, I go, they shit on them and go, how do you have nothing? But I was there, I'm like, oh, I 100% get it.
Sorry about the audio. Holy
Yeah,
God
it's okay.
damn. All right.
But if people have nothing, I 100% got it. Because if I wasn't like so ready and knew the joke, if I was kind of like, oh, go and figure it out. Normally when I go on stage, frequently, I don't know what I'm going to say until I'm on stage.
Of course.
If I did that on Kill Tony, I would have blanked.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And then so you do your minute, and then they kind of interview you after. And if you have a bad minute, the interview is your like redemption time. What do you say? Because if you have a bad set, Tony can still like you, and the panel can still like you, the audience, and he wants people to like you, which is like.
And I feel like he doesn't.
You feel like he doesn't?
I don't know if he doesn't. I think the crowd doesn't want people. I think the show excels on people not doing well. I think
I think the audience thinks they want to see a bad comic, but they laugh at good comedy. They want to see good. I think they want to see good comedy more than they want to see bad comedy, but they also love to see Tony roast someone who just failed miserably.
Well, so it was like then they roast people either way.
Yeah.
So whether you're good or bad, they're gonna make fun of you.
Right.
When they made fun of me, I did very well. I got a standing ovation. It was one of the coolest moments of my life. then they made fun of me they were like calling me fat and whatever, which I'm like, thank God. Like I'd so rather you call me fat than call me a hack.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, totally. It's 100%. Now, how long were you doing comedy at the time when you did this Kill Tony?
The second one both of them went well. The first one went good.
Okay.
The second one went very, very good.
Okay, so they were both at Skankfest, so it was like a year apart?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but how long into comedy were you?
The second one was like 5 years in.
The first one was like 4 then?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I did the math.
Yeah, wow.
Did the math.
You're Albert Einstein over here?
Hey. Hey. Okay, and then how was the second one different than the first? Both at the Gramercy?
No, both of them were at Skankfest in Brooklyn. I went at Gramercy, but I didn't get called.
Oh, I see.
But I've been 8 times just as an audience member. It's like my favorite show.
That's awesome.
It was my favorite. Yeah, I still like it, but the second time just went very. I mean, I crushed. I got a standing ovation. Big J was on panel. Michael Che was on the drums. After that, Big J offered me a guest spot at Stress Factory. Next time he was there, and
Did you do that?
Yeah, it was awesome.
You did well?
It was great. Jeremiah Watkins started bringing me to open for him at TAD, which has been awesome because of that. Like it helped me a lot. And then there was a little bit of like it was really good. And in my mind, after I got off, there was part of me going, I think this is going to change my life. And then in reality, it didn't.
It didn't move the needle?
It did. In reality, it did a couple things. I got to know Jay and Jeremiah, who have helped me a lot.
Well, that's huge, I think, right?
Huge. Yeah. There's like no, and they were like, I worked at Costco at the time, so people would come up. Shortly after that, people were like recognizing me at Costco from
really.
Cool.
That's how many people watch this podcast. It's incredible. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's very fun. But I don't know. I thought in some way it definitely didn't really affect anything long term.
Okay.
But it's still fun.
Do you think if you were to do it again, it would move the needle a little bit more? Because
it's so much bigger now.
Yeah, it's so much bigger.
I mean, it definitely moves the needle for people that are regulars and get on a lot.
Yeah.
I think if you have one good set, I don't know. I don't know. I think if I did if I could take the second appearance and put it today.
Yeah.
I think it would have significantly moved the needle.
All right. Well, in August, you told me they're going to be back at Madison Square Garden in the arena doing a podcast. Incredible. Yeah. And you're going to sign up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. Probably not going to get it, but
well, you never know. You've already gotten it twice, so the odds this is like Hunger Games. May the odds forever be in your favor.
Well, there was something that
Is that right?
Yeah. There was something that I thought, and I don't know if it still stands now that they're doing arenas, but at the time, I thought you had more likely to get on a road show than you did wherever their home base was. At the time, their home base was the Comedy Store in LA.
Sure.
Now it's the Mothership. Because wherever their home base is, people go every single week to sign up.
Yeah. And
it's like, so there's 300 people. That's their Tuesday night ritual.
Right.
Is we go and sign up for Kill Tony, and it's just every two. Well, on the road, there are people that don't know. Like, people forget.
Sure.
Like there's probably a lot of comics in New York that are like, oh, when Kill Tony's in New York, I want to go sign up.
Yeah.
And then August 26th or whatever the date is comes, and they just they forgot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, so that's your strategy.
Yeah.
Go on the road dates.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. Aside from the magic, now you're doing comedy, you also are pretty heavy into social media. Like you have these funny reoccurring bits where you kick headliners out of the green room. You asked me and Corey to do that.
That was my. Can I tell you? Top two. You and the Bobby one were my two favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what makes?
And when I say top, I feel like sometimes when you say top two, it makes people go, that means I was second. I'm not saying you're second.
All right.
I'm saying you and Bobby were tied for first.
Well, what made it funny? Like, what made it so good in your opinion?
I prepared something. Sometimes I don't prepare something.
Yeah, it was really funny. Check out the video. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram. That's a fun bit.
Yeah.
And I like how it was shot too, like a documentary almost.
Yeah.
The guy who shot it did a really good job.
Yes. Well, I think sometimes how that started was I was at the Albany Funny Bone. I was open for my buddies that do this tour, it was Dope City or Fresh as Fuck Comedy Tour. I forget which one I was doing it with. And we were doing the late show, and Kyle Kinane was doing the early show.
Okay.
And we were, I did it not like as a bit when we.
By the way, this is Madonna's house.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, Madonna lives right here.
Does Madonna like still live in New York?
She lives right there.
Like currently she lives there. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's her house. In fact, I did a talkie-walkie with Felicia Madison, and she was like, "That's Madonna's house." I was like,
Oh, that's cool.
"I know."
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
kinda cool.
in Albany, we were doing the early show. He was in the late show. And we were flipping the green room, and like when we walked into the green room, he like was like, "Ah, I guess I need to leave now." I'm like, "Yeah, word though." Yeah, I did like I kind of did as a bit.
Yeah.
And I go, "That's funny. Can I do like a video kick?" And I decided we did it. And then in the video with Kyle, it was the first one I ever did. We kind of got shouting at each other, and it was fake, but it very much seemed real.
Oh, funny.
And I posted it, and nobody thought it was a bit.
Really?
Everyone just thought I was an asshole.
Is that funny? Yeah, but you want people to think it's a bit,
Right?
obviously, right? Yeah.
Right? I thought it was kind of fun, but I also didn't want, and it was a bit, but I also didn't want to be like, hey, just so you guys know this isn't real. Like, that seems pretty lame.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to, like, explain it.
Sure.
So instead, I just was, well, I want people to know it's a bit, but I
Yeah.
also don't want to tell them it's a bit.
Right.
So I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, that's really funny, and that's how a bit becomes a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing it. It's really funny. I like to improvise, and we got to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of fun.
And some of them, I did one with Ari Shafir that
Yeah.
went mega viral.
It did.
People thought that one was real too.
So
I got
funny.
2 million views.
Wow.
And I got a lot of hate.
Oh, that's fun.
I had
Did you-
some guy, some guy DM'd, people were DMing me mad.
Really?
Because they thought I disrespected Ari.
How dare you kick out a legend?
Was
it people like that?
More people would, can I curse on this?
Yeah.
They're like, fuck you fucking piece of shit. Rogan would have beat the shit out of you, you piece of garbage. I hope you die. Someone said, I hope Hamas finds you.
What?
Like, it was just like, people were like giving me the wildest
Do you
things.
report these comments?
No, this one, I wrote, I wrote back, Rogan's next.
That's really funny. I love that. You got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And so who have you kicked out so far?
Kyle Kinane, Rich Voss, Mark Normand, Joe List, Drew Lynch, Robert Kelly, Tom Green, you, Corey B, and I'm scared I'm missing one.
All right, that's pretty good. You got to get some girls in there.
That's true.
You gotta get-
I do. There's people I want. I definitely want to do one. I have Emma Willman doing my show in a couple months.
Oh,
I want her
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, she'd be so good.
Yeah.
She's so funny. And I know you work with the Comedy Cellar on their social media.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, makes a good reel?
Engaging the first 3 seconds.
And how can you? What are good hooks? Some good tricks that people might want to know, to do that.
Use a slur in the first 3 seconds.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
A slur.
No, no, I'm kidding.
You're kidding. Okay.
No,
All right.
I'm kidding.
I was like, oh,
I'm
like, what?
kidding. I'm doing
Uh.
it. Yeah, no. People will be like, "What is this?" And they'll keep watching. No. So either just extremely funny in a very, very short period of time.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes hard.
Sure it is,
Or
yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
So if that's not the case, then it's got to be interesting in the first 3 seconds, where they're willing to now wait 20 seconds to get to a punchline.
Right.
And I think that's sometimes easier because to have something be funny, it has to have a setup, and a setup will frequently take more than 3 seconds.
Right. That makes sense.
That's what people's attention spans are.
Yeah, people have short attention spans. So are you? Here, let's go here. Are you a big fan of like the graphics and like people putting in photos and like cartoons and their clips?
Yeah, I think I depending on where it is, I think you don't want it over a punchline.
Okay.
I think it's not over a punchline because it's a little distracting. But I
Interesting.
think it's good over a setup because it gets people more. It's more engaging.
Yes, and it's more stimulating because
Yes.
it's stuff to look at, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I also think that as far as making something do well, you want around the 15-second mark should be a funny pop,
Okay.
or so either a funny moment or an engaging moment. Because when someone shares a reel to their stories,
Yeah.
it cuts off at 15 seconds.
Right.
So you want people to click.
Right.
So you want that to be a cliffhanger at the 15 seconds.
Ah, okay, good to know. What are some things you see people doing completely wrong on social media and it just bothers you?
I mean, I want to show you one after. I'm not gonna say who it is.
Okay, yeah, show me after.
I'll show you after.
Okay.
This is my favorite reel. I saw some. I mean, this was
Oh, I can't wait.
horrifically wrong. There's a comic that posted a clip of them completely out of frame. I mean, it's so crazy. Well, they were not in the video. You heard their voice, and then at the end of the video, they walk into the video.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
and it was like no pun. It was a weird level of me going. And it's a person that I kind of know. I don't really know them as a comic, but I've met them enough times.
Okay.
And I don't even really think I've seen their set before. But based on knowing them as a person, I would have assumed they were funny because I feel like this doesn't seem like a delusional person. And then I watched this clip that they posted, and I go, maybe is this person insane?
Yeah. All right.
Because it was like so like. It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to watch it.
Oh, it's really funny. I sent it to a few people, and now it's like because I thought it was funny, and then those people sent it to a few people.
Oh, so that was going.
So now if you look at it, it has 3 likes and 85 shares, which is never a good sign.
That's gonna help the algorithm, though, right? It's gonna make it do really well.
Yeah, but probably for the wrong reasons.
And probably. That's hilarious. I can't wait to see this. Please feel free to send me funny clips that you find, because I like being included in text chains.
Yes, I will.
All right. Danny Braff, we did it. We walked, we talked. Where can people find you?
Follow me on Instagram at Danny Braff, and I see me. I'm regularly at. Oh, tell me till this goes by.
No, you're good.
I'm regularly at the Dojo Comedy in Morris Plains, New Jersey.
Yeah, great room, fantastic room. So fun there.
Thank you, and come. I'll post about upcoming shows on Instagram, so come to a show.
All right, follow Danny on Instagram. He'll post his stuff. You can watch people get kicked out of the green room. He's a good guy. We did it, baby.
We did it.
Talkie-walkie.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and or watch another one. Watch another video. Could be fun. I don't know. Could be cool. You're already this far. You're still